Welcome, everybody. We're going to begin just in a few minutes. It's my time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's 7 p.m. in Amsterdam. Probably, let me see, 6 p.m. in London, and the rest I don't know. I know we have people from all over the world, so welcome. Please start tuning in, and we're going to be starting in a few minutes, just checking out everything here. My sound. My image is good, so there's some smoke coming out here. That's my aroma of vaporizer. So I'll turn it so you won't think the house is on fire. So welcome everybody. So we're gonna turn the chat on. So I want to see if you guys can hear me okay, if everything is fine, if the sound is good, if the image is good. So yes. She has said my hair is okay. Thank you. And Harmonica also welcome. So anybody who is tuning in right now, we're gonna take a few minutes. So please let me know that everything is okay, that my hair is fine. And hi Danka. And so we're tuning in. And today we have a very, very exciting subject, at least one of my favorite subject. I see, yeah, sound is good. Rebecca says, okay, you can, I can hear you. Jacqueline also welcome. Patricia, Andre, so everybody's coming in. We have a lot of people who have signed up, hundreds and hundreds of people. So everybody will need a few moments to get in. Okay, hi Caddy, Joyce, Jacqueline, Heidi, Anneke, Freya. I can't even keep up. It's just coming in so fast right now. Okay, so the next thing I would like you to do is to turn off your phones, unless I'm on your phone, of course. But turn off your phones and other stuff you don't need right now. We're gonna spend 1 hour together. I'm gonna keep it as short as I can, but I have something very powerful to share with you. I would like you to turn off everything else that can be a distraction. You can tell your whatever your partners, your children that you have 1 hour of you time right now, and in that 1 hour we're going to do some amazing stuff, and we also will go I will also answer some questions. Also, what I would like you to prepare is cool haircut. Thank you, Andre. Also to prepare that you have pen and paper ready. I will not be doing a lot of theory, but I do need to have some theory, and I need to give you a precise formula for training your brain and connecting to your higher mind. It's very, very precise, and it might be very smart to write it down when we get to that point. Okay, so the pen is ready, notebook is ready, telephones are off, and just for me now, and also as more people are coming in, let me know from which country you're tuning in. I'm right now in the United States, the East Coast, Asheville. So where are you tuning in from? What country or what city? Yeah. So just chat a little bit while we're still waiting for a few more people to come in. Just let me know which country you're from, and we go from there. Uh, Andre said, "I've locked my family in the barn." Okay. And there seems to be another Andre. We have Netherlands, Belgium, another one in Netherlands, Holland even. So many people from Holland, Netherlands, one Belgium so far. Jan Pieter, Jacqueline, Patricia, Netherlands, Sealand, Belgium, Antwerp. Okay, Switzerland, Oz, Belgium. All right, Inge from Belgium, Amsterdam, Peter. Okay, so most are Belgium, Netherlands, one even from Friesland, wherever that is, Simon. Okay, in a moment, we're going to turn the chat off. But before we do, I have a question for you that may change this program a little bit. And the question is, if there's one thing that you believe will have the biggest impact on you, what would that be? What would be the biggest thing? If I would give you one thing that would impact your life one way or the other, what would that one thing be for you? So if you have time, you can come up with one thing. Maybe it is I want to change my belief or something else. We have, yeah, some people say, why can't you do it in Dutch? Yes, guys, I wish I could. Mario is from France, so we'll keep it in English for now, unless there's everybody tell me that they don't understand my English. Okay, so what would that one thing be if I would give you one thing? What would that be? One says, okay, more energy. Monique says there is a background tune. Okay, happiness. I get you health. Overcome limiting beliefs. Um, An hour extra a day would be nice. I like it, Hardy. I can teach you how to get the 1 extra hour a day, though. Nico, angels. I don't know what you mean with angels. So if you uh, get angels, uh, let me see. Kathleen says, I want to buy my house and stay to live here. Staying my own energy always. Immigration. Okay. Overcoming rejection, trust, money, a home, and money, total relaxation, dealing with limiting beliefs, another one. Okay, so we got authenticity, how to stay in the vortex and believe more in non-physical than physical. Okay, we'll get a self-confidence, method to avoid stress, family. Okay, health to eternity. I like that, Andrew. Okay, so I think I got the thing. Danka said is really nice. Totally freedom of negative impact. That's something we can do. Brenda wants a successful divorce. I don't know what that means, successful divorce, but do you mean you want to divorce and be successful divorcing? Financial freedom, relationship, happiness, and my children back. The people around me stay healthy. Okay, I have an idea where most of you are at. So some of you are interested in changing beliefs, others are more interested in health, money, financial freedom, divorce, staying healthy. Teacher says love, and connect with higher spirit to achieve my goals. That's nice, Aaron. I will get into that. It may not be what you believe, Aaron, that to achieve your goals you have to connect with your higher spirit. But there's a way where you connect with your higher spirit, you can reach your goals faster and with more grace, ease, and joy. Okay, guys, I'm gonna ask my wingman Sven. He is the one helping me with the technical part. And Sven, can you turn off the chat for a moment so we can go into undistracted time together? And Joyce also said lose weight permanently, finding purpose, always be connected, Gisela. And okay, so first of all, why are we doing this webinar? It's a kind of a strange story. A friend of mine who I will be teaching with in September, Nisande, I think most of you know Nisande, called me up a couple of months ago and he told me that he was doing his last year, that he was going to retire, and that as a giveaway, he wanted to give all the things away that he had not explained yet in his workshop. And for those people who do not know Nisande, Nisande is very famous and maybe the number one man in Holland now to help business people, especially small business people with small business, to become even more successful. And he has done that for thousands and thousands of people for many years and has helped many, many people really become very successful. And because he's now free to do whatever he wants, he decided that he wants to change his life completely and that he's going to stop doing what he's doing right now and asked me to be part of his last couple of workshops. And the one we're doing in September, 16 and 17 of September, we're doing a workshop called Happy and Healthy. And then 1st and 2nd of December, we do on Wealthy and Wise. And in these two workshops, Nisandi and I want to give you the things that we normally do not give in workshops. And I give a lot in workshops, Nisandi gives a lot in workshops. but we were looking for what we call the special jewels to give to people. And in order for you to have an idea what we're talking about, Nisande has done a few webinars, and I'm doing this webinar. And in September, one of the things I want to focus on is how to make your body strong against cancer, how to program your body to live longer, how to heal your body very fast or faster than you normally are aware of. And especially what bothers me a lot is cancer. I just recently, just a couple of weeks ago, lost a dear friend of mine that I've known since I was 18 years old, maybe 20, so for 40 plus years. And I saw her when I was last time in Holland, and she told me she was just diagnosed with cancer, and her only symptom beginning was that she was tired. She went for a checkup, and they found cancer all over in her body, and how we call that. So it had metastasis all over, and just less than 10 days later, she passed away. I have a sister who's battling cancer, and my mother was just diagnosed, yeah, one week ago to have cancer as well, and she's getting treatment for that as well. So cancer is one of the things that, as a holistic practitioner, and I'll talk a little bit more about my experience in a moment, has really intrigued me, and I've always have done my research to see how can we heal it and how can we protect ourselves from it. And that's one of the things that I want to discuss in September. And the reason this is so important, if you live long enough, there are two things that you're going to encounter. One is going to be your circulation, which could manifest itself with heart problems, or even becoming more popular now is dementia. So one side, if we get old enough, we have to look at our arteries or our blood circulation, and the other thing we need to look at is our immune system and how to protect ourselves against cancer. So that's going to be two of the things that I'm going to focus on. Also, I'm going to talk a little about lowering your biological age and some ways to live longer and how to program yourself for that. Okay, so that's my introduction. Why I'm very fanatic and very happy that Nisande asked me to do this with him. In this webinar, I'm going to teach you only one thing. I can give you 500 tips and I will be answering questions, but I'm going to teach you only one thing that I call a brain hack. Some of you may know it, but most of you will never have heard of it, have never seen it before. And I'm going to teach you how to train your brain, how to use your mind in order to become healthier, in order to live longer, and you can do a lot of things with it with just one technique. If you master this one technique, you can also uh, change what you attract in your life. So some of you may know about the law of attraction, and I will show you in this webinar how you can do that. And a very exciting news, just finished this weekend writing a book, and it's my number 85 book is finished, and the title of the book is The Secrets I've Learned from a Lazy Billionaire. And I will not go deep into it, but in the things that we will be learning in this work, in this webinar, are some of the things that are also in this book. So it's really fresh in my mind. I just wrote 110 pages about what I've learned from one billionaire and how this changed my life and actually opened my mind even more. And I want to share this with you in December when we have the Wealth and Wise workshop. Okay, so first a little bit about who are we. I already spoke about Nisande. Nisande has been mainly focused on business people, helping them become successful. And as a hobby, he also has explored things like marathon running, climbing mountains, healthy nutrition, training the mind and brains, and a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about. But that was not what he was teaching about. Me, on the other side, as a holistic doctor, I've been for over 40 years. I'm now going to be 64 next month. And I became a holistic doctor when I was 24, and that's 40 years ago. So 40 years ago, I started my uh, career as a holistic medical doctor. And I've studied a lot. I've saw thousands and thousands of patients, and I've cured many of them, helped them cure, whatever you want to call that, and I've learned a lot. And then I started to teach more or less 20 years ago other doctors and therapists the techniques that we developed. That became a big success. I've written, like I said, already 84 books, millions sold, and also I'm a martial artist. I'm going to tell you about my passions so you know exactly where I'm coming from. My first and foremost passion is martial arts, fitness, training. I started when I was 6 years old with judo. I became very, very successful in my career as a martial artist. I'm an 8-degree black belt. I've won hundreds and hundreds of championships. I've become a world champion. I've trained other world champions. I have now in Mexico over 50 national champions in martial arts who trained with me or under my system. So martial art is my first and big passion. And then my second passion is holistic medicine, is healing, and mainly because I was sick myself. I'll talk a little bit later about this, but also my uh, passion is healing others, helping them finding their the key to the healing. My third love is writing. As I said, 85 books and counting. And my fourth love is teaching and traveling. So it's a combination. If I would be only teaching in one place, it would be no fun. I love to teach, I love to travel, and I love to meet people from different cultures. I teach in Russia, China, Europe, Italy, and here also in the States. And my last big passion is coaching. I love to coach people. I love to take someone, uh, even if it's a martial artist, a beginning martial artist, and bring them to a very high level. I'm doing that now with my wife and my daughter, and I'm training them to become black belts in martial arts. So I love that. So this is my background. But the only thing I didn't say yet is that how I got into brain training. When I was born, my official diagnosis was that my brain was damaged because I was not getting enough oxygen. I was blue, and the doctors really did not have a lot of hope for me. And I was in Aruba at the time when they told me that the best thing I would become ever was a carpenter. And I was lucky because in the lower school, from first to sixth grade, I didn't pay much attention. And then I went to high school, and there I had to develop something which I call now sleep learning in order to pass the exams and my tests. And introducing sleep learning, I discovered this by accident when I was 11, 12. I could learn everything, and I became very good. I became the best in my class, and even as a doctor, I succeeded with honors. So that's my story with brain damage and also sleep learning. And later on, we're going to talk about how you can influence the brain. What I would like now to do is to ask you one question so we can break the information a little bit. So, Sven, if you want to turn on the chat again, I would love to know what is your number one passion. You may write down more, but your number one passion in life. And we will see later why this is important because when we train our brain, we have to combine it with what we're passionate about. So, if you want to put in the chat, what are you passionate about? What are your most important passion? So we will get into that and then we can continue. In the meantime, Bastian says music. Um, that's a really wonderful passion. So for you, Bastian, music is going to be the key for your brain training. Color and energy, sailing. Erwin, very good. You can use that also for brain training. There's a humming sound in the background. Okay, Patricia, I'll see if I can work on that. Sound healing. homeopathy, nature, uh, message for cancer patients, bees, numerology, teaching human movement, essential oils, inner peace and being the best version of myself, Tai Chi, patchwork, sparking connections, making a difference to other people, training and learning other people, mandala drawing, underwater world, Tai Chi, I don't find it, says Dominique. Christine, riding, Ursula, horse riding, and running. Traveling good because of health and money, not focus at me. Coaching. Okay, good. Coach helping to teach. Again, dance and music, dance, learning kids how to learn efficiently, duos, teach and dance, coaching. Okay, super. Oh yeah, boxing. Let's box together sometime. Okay, we can turn the chat off again. I got an idea. So, why is this so important? When you're going to train your brain, you want to connect it to something that you're passionate about. And we'll get to that later. Especially when you want to connect with your higher mind. Because when you are passionate about something, what immediately happens is, oh, yeah, sorry, I get that my mic is not, okay. So I'm going to try without, please see what happens now. You guys just let me know if it's better, if it's good. Okay, and Sven, you let me know if my mic is not bad. So when we go to our passion, we think about something we're passionate about, immediately in that moment, we are opening up what we call chakras. We will not go deep into chakras, but just imagine that chakras are like special receivers and senders on special frequencies. And when we do something we're passionate about, we're opening up the heart chakra. Your passion is in your heart. So when you open up your heart, you, in a way, your heart is in control of your brain. So when I'm going to do something that, let's say I want to train my body with, and I open my heart, then the brain is much more receptive. We'll get back into that later when I give you the specific information for that. So here's my golden rule. And if you want, you can write it down. It's not that important if you already know it. My golden rule is that all success depends on your mindset. Your mindset is a driving force for everything, for health, for longevity. If I work with a cancer patient, their mindset will determine if they make a chance, yes or no. How driven are they in order to do whatever they need to do? And most people are driven from pain, from fear. And when you're driven from fear, it can work, absolutely can work, but it's not as powerful as when you're driven from passion. So what I teach cancer patients is for them to look about what they're passionate in life and to imagine a future where they're doing the things they're passionate about. So, for example, when I got problems in my back and my discs were completely gone, and or orthopedic surgeon who was doing the MRI scan told me that the next thing would be surgery, I refused surgery and I decided to do visualization. We'll talk a little bit about visualizations. And in order to do visualizations, I had to go back to my passion. My passion is martial arts. My passion is teaching and training. And at that time, I could not stand for more than 3 minutes. And so I started focusing and doing visualizations where I included what I was passionate about into my visualization. I saw myself again doing martial arts. I saw myself again running. I saw myself teaching, standing in front of groups, moving with a lot of energy. So when we combine the passion with our visualization is much better absorbed by our body and also will be sent out when we talk about the law of attraction. There's one thing I want you to write down is the difference between force or power. In Dutch,
we say forcere. In English, it is we forcing things. We're doing things on willpower. We're doing things on, how do you say this, on pure discipline. It's not good or bad. That's force. So if you want to be successful and you're forcing your way to success, it's going to cost you energy. One of the most important things that I can teach you is to come from power. People always say, "Oh, Roy, you're so calm, you're so at peace, you have this Zen mind." I can tell you one thing: I did not have a Zen mind. My mind is super hyperactive, but I trained my mind. I'm going to teach you how to train your mind as well, that you reach a state where you're not forcing yourself anymore, where you decide that you're going to do everything with grace, ease, and joy. That's number one. So you don't want to come from force, but sometimes you have to run. But remember, we're running to marathon. We're running for a long time. In September, we're going to teach you how to live a longer life. So we have to prepare for the longer life. So everything is about mindset. If I look at my career in martial arts, where I became a world champion, it's about mindset. If I look at my career as holistic doctor, where I became world famous, it's about mindset. My career in writing books, it's about mindset. My career in teaching is about mindset. Everything is in mindset. So I want to teach you how to create the most powerful mindset so you can create that what you want, whatever that is. Healing, it's that having a new relationship. Someone talked about successful divorce. How do you create your mindset for having that successful divorce, even if I don't know what you mean with that? So, okay, that's that. So one thing that we're going to do in September that I believe will change your life, and it has to also do with mindset. It is about making you bulletproof to rejection. Now, most people do not know that the rejection is the number one fear of everything. Everything we do or we don't do is based on how we have conditioned our mind. Normally, we didn't condition, but we allowed our mind to be conditioned how to deal with rejection. And even those people who believe they can deal with rejection, they're still programmed by rejection. And in September, we're going to eradicate, we're going to erase your fear of rejection completely. And today I'm going to give you a tip that you can start with doing that, with the brain hack I'm teaching you. But to eradicate rejection, you have to go back to the first time when we created that pattern where we got fear of rejection. So we will gonna come back to that a little bit later. So it's now about teaching your brains how to become more powerful. And this is, in my opinion, the missing link in medicine. In medicine, we have on one side Western medicine, which has powerful tools, surgery, pharmaceuticals, diets, radiation, and physiotherapy. That's the Western medicine. And we have the alternative medicine and holistic medicine, and they use herbs, homeopathy, acupuncture, hypnosis, and Reiki, and many other devices. It's a very mixed type of thing. But one of the things that often is missed, except maybe in a few, is how to use the mind for healing. So a lot of homeopaths give homeopathic remedies. A lot of acupuncturists give acupuncture, and so on and so on. Reiki people give Reiki. But what if we can teach people how to use their minds in such a way that they can take the responsibility back for the healing? So that's one thing that I want to teach you today, how to use your mind in such a way that you can influence anything in your life. If it's sports, or is it sleeping? Are you feeling fatigue? Are you sick? Are you want to write a book? Do you want to make more money? Whatever you want, your mind can help you to get it. Okay. But before we go there, I want to give you my 5 rules. And these are the rules, I would say, for what we're going to do. So if you want, you can write these rules down. I've written them down here. I'm going to read them out to you one by one. Rule number 1 is If you believe something to be true, it will become true. Uh, Everybody knows this rule. It's not new. So if you believe that you can never become healthy, that's true. If you believe that you can never become super rich, that's true. If you believe that when you get older that you will get a lot of symptoms and disease, that's true. If you believe that you cannot write a book, that's true too. If so, everything you believe becomes a reality. Actually, your beliefs become your prison. So we're gonna the mind technique I'm gonna teach you. One of the things that you can do is change your beliefs. Because if you don't change your beliefs, you cannot achieve what you want. As I just said, I finished writing a book. It's called The Lazy Billionaire. Um, and in this book, it is about a person who it doesn't have he doesn't have a company, he doesn't have a product, he doesn't have millions of dollars, he doesn't have any millions of investment. The only thing that he had was to believe that he could become a billionaire. And he visualized this over and over again for more than a year, every morning for over an hour. Visualize him being a billionaire. And he became a billionaire. All right. So this book that I just wrote contains information that I've never seen anyway before. And once you set your mind to something, you just program the mind. The only thing that can stop you if you don't believe what you're doing works. So if you want to become a billionaire, but you don't believe you can become a billionaire, your belief is more powerful than anything else. It's better not to have any beliefs. I don't have a belief if I become a billionaire or not. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, that's fine. I'm still happy. So I make a chance to become a billionaire if I want to. Okay. Rule number 2. If you want to change your life, you have to train your mind, okay, to create a new you. So to change your life, you need to create a new you. I'm going to teach you how to create a new you. And I want you to remember that. The you that is in living the life that you're living right now cannot change that life. You need to change your thinking. Einstein said that. The same mindset that creates a problem cannot solve the problem. So if you're sick, and you do not know how to get better, you need to change your way of thinking. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you change your way of thinking so you become a new you will create a new body that, for example, is not sick. It sounds simple, but that's how it works. Rule number 3, you need to make a commitment to a minimum of 100 days. When I learned Qigong in China, this form of Qigong could heal 80% of the people within 60 days. All right. And as the days go by, more people will get healed. So maybe after a month, only half of the people are healed. Maybe after 2 months, 60 days, another 30% is healed. And only after 100 days, the maximum effect is reached, which is for example, 95% plus healing in that case of Qigong. And they say that you have to practice this technique every day for 100 days. If you stop, you start over again. I'm not that strict, so, but if you stop longer than 2-3 days, you've lost it. So it is about doing the technique that I'm going to teach you for at least 100 days non-stop if possible. And here's the good news. It is so easy, so simple. It takes less than a minute, maybe a 1.5 minutes to do it. So you have no excuse about time. You can do it during today. You can do it many times during the day. The more you do it, the more powerful it becomes. So, but the minimum is 100 days. Rule number 4, it has to be fun. If something is not fun, then the brains will not follow. What they discover is that children learn much better from a teacher that's passionate. If the teacher is not passionate, the kids will be bored and they will not be receiving the information as well. Your brains work that way. So most important for you right now is to make everything you do fun. That's why I say combine it with something you're passionate about, something you love to do. And then 5, and this rule is the most important rule that will change your life, is focus only on what you want. Ignore everything else. Why is this so important? And this has to do, I'm going to explain this in September better. This has to do with what we call the mirror neurons in your brain. We're going to talk a little bit about the brain now. The mirror neurons in your brain, when you see something in your brain, immediately they mirror what you see. So if you're watching television and they're talking about breast cancer and your brain goes, oh my God, I don't want to have breast cancer. In that moment, you're mirroring exactly what you don't want in your brain. So you're seeing yourself having breast cancer. And that is then for your brains a kind of almost like a command. Oh, this is what you want. So we need to learn to focus only on what we want and ignore everything else. So the moment you see someone with breast cancer, you say, oh, I don't want to have breast cancer. What you do is focus on what you want, not on what you don't want. So what I would do, and in this case, let's say prostate cancer. So I'm watching a documentary about prostate cancer, and part of my brain go, I don't want to have that. Then immediately I focus on the future where I'm 20 years older and I'm going to visit a doctor, and the doctor checks my prostate and say my prostate is totally healthy. And that's the image I want to put into my brain. And this is so important. So every one of you who's watching and listening right now, I want you to remember this. Anytime something happened in your life that you don't like, or happens to someone else that you don't like, that's the moment that your mirror neurons are acting very, very powerful, and that you need to destroy by giving them something else to act upon, by choosing what you want to focus on. So for those of you, for example, who said money is important to me, every time you're confronted with a situation where you don't have enough money, you have to immediately focus on a situation where you have enough money, or put that situation in the future. So maybe right now you don't have the money to pay for the house that you want to keep, but you want to immediately send out, I want to be able to buy a house in the future, or now, whatever. You have to keep focusing on that. So let me repeat the 5 rules really quickly. If you believe something to be true, it is true. If you want to change your life, you have to change your mindset. You have to train your brain. You need to commit to 100 days. That's the minimum. That's rule 3. You have to make it fun or passionate. And 4, only focus on what you want. If you follow these 5 rules, I can tell you we can make miracles happen. So let's take an example. Someone with cancer. The doctor tells you you have 3 months, 6 months to live. So your mirror neurons in that moment are creating pictures for living 3 to 6 months. So the first thing you need to do is create new images for your mirror neurons to focus on. So you can do, for example, you can plant a young tree and then visualize how you see the tree grow up and maybe produce fruits, let's say an apple tree or peach tree, whatever it is that you want to put. That's one idea. And you focus on that. Or you can just visualize seeing yourself 2-3 years from now, having a wonderful time, and you go for a checkup and the doctor says, I don't know how you did it, but your body is completely healthy and clean. And you have to stay on that. You have to focus on that image over and over in the morning when you wake up, before you go to sleep, during the day, anytime you think of cancer, you focus on this image over and over and over again. For those of you who have money problems, same thing. You only focus on the things that you're grateful for and the things that you're going to accomplish in the future. And if you keep doing that, you are not only training your mirror neurons to see what you want, but you're also sending out what we call an electromagnetic pulse. The abbreviation, the acronym for that is EMP, and normally this is used in military circles. If you detonate a nuclear bomb, let's say 10 miles or higher from the Earth's surface, it will send out an electromagnetic pulse that will wipe out a big part of the wireless communication. So the electromagnetic pulse from the nuclear bomb is so strong that it will destroy most wireless communications. Now, we are also sending out wireless communication. I will get into that deeper next, but by focusing with your mirror neurons, and I just finished writing a book about this. When you focus on the mirror neurons, you're sending out EMPs of what you want all over the world, in all of the universe, over and over again. You're sending it to your DNA, because your DNA also is wireless. You're sending it to your cells. You're sending it to your organs. You're sending it to your community. You're sending it to your country, and you're sending it all over the world. And this will create a synchronicity, and synchronicity is coincidence that will help you to achieve the goal that you want. And in this book about this billionaire, I'm describing how he attracted the coincidences that will lead him to become a billionaire. Easy peasy. I mean, the way he's done it is so brilliant and so easy that I could say, I could do the same in that way. But it all starts with the mirror neurons, what you're sending out. Okay, now, are you ready now to prepare for training your brain? There's one more piece of theory that you need to know about your brains. Your brains produce 5 different types of brain waves. Number 1 is called beta. As you're listening to me right now, you're conscious, you are in beta. As we are conscious, the brain waves are the most chaotic and fastest brain waves we can produce. So the more conscious we are, the more we are go into slower brain waves, which is called alpha. And then alpha is, for example, when you listen to music, when you're walking out in nature, when you're meditating. Before you go to sleep, you go into alpha. And maybe even when you're reading certain books, watching movies or TV, put you into alpha. And if you relax more, you go in what we call theta, or theta, theta. And theta is even slower brain waves. And we're now between 4 and 10 hertz. And then even deeper is delta. And in delta, we are deep asleep. And there's another group of brain waves called gamma waves. And these gamma waves are very strong peaks. And these are the least studied brain waves. And I'll tell you about gamma later. So we got beta, we're awake, and our brain is really chaotic. We start to breathe slower. We move into alpha. The brain relaxes, and you become more creative. I'll get into it in a second. Who of you noticed that, for example, you get great ideas in the shower, or when you're walking in nature, or when you're listening to music, or when you relax? That's because you go into alpha. I'll explain what happens. When we are in beta, and this is what most people don't know, so this is something you want to remember, because there are no books that write about this. When you're in beta, you are completely focused on the 3-dimensional world. You're looking at me, you're looking at the screen, you're listening, you're giving interpretation. Your mind is fully in the logical brain. So you're analytic. Normally, you're not so emotional because you're thinking about it, even though beta can also be emotional. Now, when you go into alpha, you go from the 3-dimensional focus to wireless. So alpha is the first connection of wireless, where the brain is connected now with the whole universe. When you go into theta, the brain is 100% wireless. And when you go into delta, you're deep asleep, and it can be mixed, wireless and non-wireless, but you're completely inside. You're mainly focused on what's happening inside. But you go delta, theta, alpha, delta, delta, alpha, and so on. So theta is important because that's where we're wireless. Now, gamma is to do with our compassion. When we're compassionate, when we're passionate, when we are thinking about kind stuff, when we think about helping other people, we are compassionate. And that's when gamma starts to peak. And we'll get into the September when we go teach you how to be happy at choice. It is about choosing for the gamma waves, but we'll get into that. So let me finish up now what we're going to do with this information. We have the logical brain, which is a beta brain, and we have the wireless brain, which is more alpha theta brain. So what we want, when we want to train our bodies, we want it to be in alpha and theta. In hypnosis, they found that the best hypnosis happens in theta. So when a person is in theta, they are totally open, they're totally suggestible, and they can change their body at will. If you tell a person in hypnosis, when they're in theta, that they're blind, they cannot see anymore, they open their eyes and they cannot see, because all suggestions become real. All beliefs become real. If I tell you in deep hypnosis that we erase your name totally from your memory, you cannot remember your name. And we've done this over and over. If I tell you in deep hypnosis that you have never smoked, that you hate cigarettes while you are a smoker, when you get out of hypnosis, you will hate cigarettes and you will never smoke again. So hypnosis is one way to do it. But not everybody has an hypnotist available to them. So here is a trick that we discovered. This is not my discovery. It's been discovered by science, and I'm going to give it to you now. Is when you roll up your eyes, and so you go with me, roll up your eyes. When you roll up your eyes, try to look up, your brain waves go immediately into theta. And when you close your eyes, your brains are in theta. Now, in order to train your body, you need to bypass the rational brain. Because the rational brain is the conscious brain that will not believe certain things. So if I want to heal my body, I roll up my eyes and I will say the following sentence. And I want you to write this down, because then we're going to practice. The first sentence you say, even if I don't know how to heal my body, even if I don't know how to make my next million, even if I don't know how to keep my house, even if I don't know how to have a successful divorce, even if I don't know how to connect to my higher minds, to my higher consciousness, to angels, even if I don't know how to receive information to write my next book, my next bestseller. That's the beginning of what we're going to do. That's a bypass sentence. Even if I don't know how to become a billionaire, well, the brain goes, yes, we don't know how. That's the conscious brain. And that goes off. Then you say, what I do know is that it is already so now. I cannot go into full details. In September, I will go into details why we say what I do know. What I can tell you now is we're shifting to a future where this already happened. So we're just connecting to a future wireless. And in the September, we'll teach about all the infinite possible futures that we have in the so-called multiverse. That is the universe with many different parallel universes. There's one where you are a millionaire. There's one where you're healthy. There's one where you have a successful divorce. There's one where you communicate with angels. There's one where you wrote this bestseller and it became a world bestseller. There's one where you get to keep your house. There's one where you make more money. There's one where you become famous. There's one where you come on television. So when we say, I don't know how, we are not wireless. We're closing the three-dimensional part, and we're moving to it is already so now. We are now in the wireless brain, and we send out our goal, and then comes the next sentence, and that is we need to tell the brain to delete the information that will block us from believing that's possible. And this information is in our unconscious mind. So I will say, I'm now deleting, erasing, removing all information in my brains that will block me from realizing my goal. I'm going to repeat that. I am now erasing or deleting or removing all information in my brain that will block me from realizing this goal. That's the second sentence. Third sentence. First sentence was, even if I don't know how to become healthy again and vibrant and maybe run a marathon, what I do know, that second sentence, it is already so now. The third sentence is delete, erase, and remove all information that will block my goal from happening. The next sentence is download, download, download. My wife liked to use the word reprogram, reprogram, reprogram. Reprogram my brains. I prefer download myself because I want to download into my brains the resources that I need in order to be successful. So I will say download, download, download all I need to know in order to make this successful. And then we finish with it is done, it is done, it is done, so it is, so it is, so it is, or thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to repeat this one more time for the people who want to write this down. And this is the power intention that you can use for everything, to program your body, to program your DNA, to connect to your higher mind, to have a different future. So here are the sentences you're going to use. Even if I don't know how to get to this goal, what I do know is it is already so now. Delete, 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 or erase or remove all information that will block me from being successful. Something like that. It doesn't have to be adverb in what I'm saying. And the last part is download, 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 or reprogram, reprogram my brain with the resources that I need in order to achieve this. And then you close off with thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This, dear people watching, has been the life-changing event for me. And in December, I'm going to tell you stories that are incredible, impossible. And my book will be ready for publishing next year. Next year, spring, it will come out. But if you come, you will get parts of this book so you can already start, let's say, program your brain. But I'm giving you now the secret, the number one secret to achieve anything you desire in your life. I've created a life together with my wife exactly the way I want it, perfect in every way that I wanted it. And now we're creating a new life, another life, because we thought we wanted this, and then we discover it's not exactly what we want. A little bit more of this, a little bit more of that, and we're going to change again. Here are the things that you want to remember. You can use this to get biological younger. You can use this to heal your disease. So I'm going to give you a few tips how to use this, and then I'm going to answer some questions, and you can get to send me also some questions in chat of things that are not clear. Okay, one way I'm using this every night before I go to sleep, I program my body. I go and I roll up my eyes and I say, even if I don't know how, to program my body so I wake up tomorrow feeling younger, being biological younger, my body detoxed and totally happy and vital and ready for the day to begin, or something similar. I'm making this up every night, and I do hundreds of variation. I repeat another one. Even if I don't know how to program my body during the night to become biological younger, and me waking up tomorrow feeling happier and more vital and more healthy, what I do know, it is already happening now. Delete, delete, delete any information, any belief, anything in me that is blocking me from having this happen. Download, download, download any resource that I may need to make my body become biologically young and wake up feeling happy. I use it before I go to sleep. I also use it to determine the exact moment I'm going to wake up. So I will say, even if I don't know how, to make my body wake up exactly at 6 or a little bit before 6, what I do know, it is so happening now. Delete, delete, delete any parts of me that wants to stay in bed longer or will sabotage me waking up at 6, and download the resources for me to wake up at 6. I don't use an alarm, and I wake up every day exactly at the time that I want to wake up. Try it out. Practice. Remember the rule. There was rule number 3. You have to practice for 100 days for it to totally be ingrained into your body. Okay? You can also change your belief. You can say, even if I don't know how to deal with my fear of rejection and to feel powerful and worthy all the time, what I do know, it is so now. Delete, 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 and then download, download, and so it is, so it is. So you can work on that. So play with it for 100 days. The lazy billionaire used a variation of that. He didn't have my secret formula, but he used visualization to create him becoming a billionaire. He used this to create awareness. So one of the things that I'm doing in the morning is I'm saying, even though I don't know how to stay in my power, to stay happy, What I do know, it is so now. And then about how to be more playful. Well, even if I don't know how to be more playful, what I do know, I'm already more playful. Delete, delete, delete all information that's blocking me from being playful. Download, download all the resources in me to be more playful. So you can use that right away for that. One other person was the past is influencing me now. What I would say, even if I don't know how to stop the past from influencing me in the now, what I do know is that the past no longer influences me now. Delete, 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 download, download, download. So that answers all, that question is also answered. Let me see if there are any other. Oh yeah, there was one guy, Peter. Peter had a very uh, tough trauma happening to him, where someone died in a car, and his fiancée at the time got, I think, brain damage, and she was paralyzed. And he came out pretty good, but he is suffering from insomnia, pains, and totally exhausted. And he's doing now something called EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing. For Peter, you can now use this technique as well and say, even if I don't know how to remove all the influence of this trauma that happened to me, what I do know, it's removed now, and play with variations with it. Even if I don't know how to remove all the reasons that I have fatigue right now, that's another one. Even if I don't know how to stop the pain from radiating my body. So you can do it for every and specific symptom that you're suffering from, and you start training your body and brain. Remember, it is not just you say it and it happens. It is by repeating it over and over, every day, every night, over and over again, this fast. You don't need to go slow. Roll up your eyes and just say the sentences, and you will do it. Let me give you one last tip. If you're in an emotional state, you're in a fight, in a quarrel, you can just stop, breathe, roll up your eyes, and say, even if I don't know how to go back into my power now, what I do know, it is so now. Delete, delete, delete any reasons for me to be emotional, any trigger from the past or from any time. Download, download, download power, security, self-worth, self-esteem right now, so I'm totally calm and can deal with this conversation easily. So you can do something like that in the middle of a quarrel, in the middle of a fight. So I would recommend that. So it is very easy to do. So before I open the chat for checking you for some questions you may have on this subject, I just want to answer some questions really quick that I got. One was about sugar in raw foods, because we said no sugar. Sugar is a big enemy. But sugar in raw foods like fruits and vegetables is totally okay, because there they come with the fiber. So if you take a carrot, you eat a carrot, is fine. If you take a carrot, you make carrot juice, that is not as good as eating the carrot. So if you're going to make carrot juice, you need the fibers in there, okay? Because that will regulate how you uptake the sugar. There was another one about, you guys said eat when you're hungry. Is it also for thirst? Now, thirst is a tricky one, because most people have their thirst center is not regulated. So in the beginning, the first 21 days, you have to drink more water, and you remind me to drink water, then you're thirsty. So you have to, for example, say, I'm going to drink 2 liters of water every day, thirsty or not. And when you do that, now you are again balancing the thirst center. And then after 21 days or a month, you now can trust that your body will tell you when you're thirsty. So that is answered. What else do we have? One person is asking, are potatoes bad for you, or are they just less nutritious? Potatoes are not bad for you, but they don't contain a lot of stuff. And the best part of the potato is the peel of the potato. So if you eat the potato, eat it with peel if you can. But it's not the most nutritious and providing you with the most kind of nutrients. In September, we'll tell you a few things that will blow your mind. Also for stopping cancer, and how you can make a potion that will boost your immune system into the stratosphere. One question about more dementia, is that because of statins? We know that a lot of people have high cholesterol. They get statins to lower the cholesterol, and that gives a lot of problems. One of the problems could be heart disease, and one could be also dementia. But it's not 100% correlation, but there's some correlation between heart disease and dementia. I didn't find a correlation between the statins and dementia yet. Okay, there was one question about the prostate. I wake up 2 or 3 times in the night and it disturbs my sleep. There are a lot of natural prostate things out there. One is called Sabal cerulatum. So you can just check it on the Sabal. That's a very powerful thing for the prostate. We have pumpkin seeds. We have also the red colorant in tomatoes. Lycopene is also good for the prostate, and zinc. So if you find Sabal, you take pumpkin seeds every day. You find lycopene is also very good, or eat dried tomatoes is very good, and some extra zinc. You can heal the prostate again in combination with mental thing that I just taught you. So Sven, if you open the chat, see if people have specific questions. And for those of you that want more, of course, I only give this brain training one thing, which I believe is the most powerful brain hack I've ever seen in my life. I would like you to try it out for 100 days. If you want more, how to use it more specific, I have a few more tricks how to use it specific for your DNA and those kind of things. So please go ahead and do that. And if you have any questions specifically about what I've been talking about today, we'll go that. And don't leave yet. I still have to make you an offer. For September, you will get a super offer. And we want to work with people who are dedicated, are motivated. It's the only time we're going to do this workshop. And in a moment, we're going to open the offer for you. You can then send us an email and we'll give you an offer at a super price, so that you can really, I think it's almost like half price, something like that you get for the workshop. So Lucy asked, can we see the webinar again? Yes, of course, Lucy. We will have it available for the next 48 hours. So you can look at it and do it what you can. So we got some thank you here. That's great. It's my pleasure. And ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, I cannot tell you all the things I've done with this one brain hack, but I can tell you a few things I've done. I've been able to cure my back with this. But I discovered that I need to learn to walk in a new way again. I'll do this soon on the workshop. Some question about prevent vaccination damage from Patricia. And can we use it as we brain that holiday? Okay, so first of all, the things, do you have to repeat the same for 100 days? No, it's about, but if you have an item specifically about that you want to work on, you will do it for 100 days, but you can do 100 different items. That doesn't go in any way. Someone's getting a headache from rolling up the eyes. In the beginning, it's tough, something we never done. So the muscle gets very fatigued very quickly. In the beginning, I couldn't do it for longer than 30 seconds. So with training, it will get better. So that's true. So let me check one of the chats again. One, can we also do it when we have been brainwashed, for example, in a sect? Absolutely. You can unbrainwash yourself. You can unlearn anything you want to learn. Headaches, I can roll up my eyes and keep closed at the same time. Closing of the eyes is not the main important thing, but you just start with rolling up your eyes and see how that goes. Slow metabolism, yes, you can work on that. So you want to see yourself already losing weight, but you also want to see your metabolisms speeding up. So you can visualize on that, but first do the intention, and then it will go much better. You can do many items. So if I want to work on my back pain, regrow my cartilage, my crack vein between the vertebrae, I will focus on that 100 days. But at the same time, I'm doing anything else, my emotions, and so on and so on. So you can do much more. What do you know about lemniscate exercise? Lemniscate is something like you make an eight. I don't know much about it. I've used it in the past for the chakras, but I found the intention much more powerful. But you can combine them. Can you roll up your eyes and close them at the same time? I can, but if you can't practice like this, close your eyes and try to look inside of your eye, of your head. Imagine you could look up into your head. Just practice. If you look at people going to faint, they roll up their eyes like this and then they faint. They're already in theta. I have a handicapped hand. It could be good to give it a try out. Yes, I have no experience why you're handicapped, but you can get the nerves to work again. Work on it at least for 100 days. Do you have to look up the whole time? And your smile. Yes, you look up during you saying the intention, not when you visualize. I'm worried about Gen X in tap water in Rotterdam, the Hague area in Holland. It's toxic stuff. Greetings. Okay. Yeah, I can answer that right now. But if you're worried, use your intention to unworry yourself and do that. Someone says, how do I find my purpose? Even if I don't know how to find my purpose, what I do know, I will find my purpose soon. Set the intention for it. Okay. When I roll up my eyes, I feel a shift inside me. You're going into theta. That's correct. Okay, guys, I'm going to open up the offer for you. If you're interested in coming in September, we have a great offer. You just have to send in your name, and you will get a letter and an offer. And we make you jump through one hoop because we really want serious people there. We don't want just people to come just because they're curious. I'm going to give you everything I got, and I make you my personal promise that with what I'm going to give you, I'm going to change your life. I'm really 100% for that. Sven, can we open up the link for the thing? And I want you guys also to know that I'm not going away. I don't know what Nissan is going to do next year. I'm going to be around. I'm thinking of organizing some wonderful things next year. One would be a 2-week boot camp I want to do in the summertime. I want to give you everything I've got. And I really want to continue helping you. We started a membership in America. It's working very well. Now we're starting one in Holland as well, where we are continuous giving people coaching in groups and telling them what's going on, the next new changes, and so on. So I want to thank everybody for watching today. I won't take much of your time. It's 1 hour and 10 minutes. I hope this was useful. I beg you to use it as often as you can. And anytime you want, send us an email. Let us know how you're doing. And we hope to see you back in September. And one of the things I didn't mention is how to get into contact with your higher mind, setting the intention, and then you visualize that you are sitting on the top of a mountain, very comfortable, and you invite your higher mind to come in and talk with you, and miracles will happen. That's all I want to give you now, because I want you to experiment with that. And so you set the intention. Even if I don't know how to meet my higher mind, my higher consciousness right now, what I do know is happening right now. Delete, 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 and so on and so on. And then you roll down your eyes and you imagine that you're sitting somewhere in a park or a mountain or near a lake, and you invite your higher self to come in and to talk to you, and it will change your life. The workshop is going to be in English, and I'm sorry, we won't have it in Dutch, but we'll have it in English. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you for joining in. I love you from my heart. I have a lot of compassion and passion for you, for listening, and for trying this out. We're going to meet you again next time. You take care. Bye-bye.